Okay, today I would like to talk to our Prime Minister, Premiers, and any possible future leaders about a couple of initiatives that I feel that Canada should impose to protect us, mostly from Trump's tariffs and stuff like that. And the first one I'm going to talk about is what I've spoken about before, the a program, an economic program that I call the Canadian Economic Sovereignty Initiative, CESI for short. And what this is the Canadian Economic Sovereignty Initiative is a bold new economic policy designed to strengthen Canada's economy, protect jobs, and ensure that foreign companies, including U.S. corporations, contribute to Canada's economic growth. If they wish to access one of the world's largest consumer markets, us, Canada, okay, they must meet this requirement, okay? They must in, they must contribute to our economy, okay? Key requirements of CESI: minimum Canadian manufacturing and assembly. Any foreign manufacturer that wants to sell physical products in Canada must perform at least 20% of the manufacturing process in Canada, or complete final assembly in Canada, ensuring jobs for Canadian workers. Example: if Ford wants to sell cars in Canada, they must assemble them here or produce at least 20% of their parts here in Canada. Service industries are required to do the same. Foreign online telecommunications and digital service providers such as Amazon, Netflix, Google, or Meta must have a Canadian office, employ Canadian workers for customer service, IT, and operations. Example: if Netflix wants to offer services in Canada, they must open a Canadian headquarters or central office and hire and employ local employees. Economic contributions to Canada: foreign companies must pay taxes on all Canadian generated revenue. Companies that fail to meet these conditions will be barred from selling in Canada. Their goods will not be allowed to cross our border and onto our shelves. How CESI protects Canada from U.S. tariffs and jobs loss, stops U.S. from exploiting Canada's market. The U.S. relies on Canada, and Canada is its largest selling partner and trade partner, selling 400 plus billions in goods annually. CESI forces American companies to invest in Canadian production and labor or risk losing access to their second largest consumer base. Shields Canada from Trump-style trade war tactics. Trump imposed a 25% tariff on steel and aluminum today, hurting Canadian industries. Under CESI, U.S. companies will rely on Canadian operations, marketing, and making it harder for future U.S. leaders to these justify trade restrictions. Creates Canadian jobs and keeps revenue in Canada. U.S. companies currently extracting wealth from Canada without investing in our workforce. CESI ensures that foreign businesses contribute to our economy instead of draining it. The U.S. economy will suffer and lose access to Canada if it does not meet these requirements. Key industries that would be severely impacted: the automotive industry. U.S. car makers and automotive makers, Ford, GM, depend on Canadian sales. Tech and telecommunication, Google, Apple, Amazon, and Meta rely on Canadian consumers. Agriculture and food. The U.S. exports billions in food to Canada. Farmers would suffer. The U.S. would be forced to negotiate fairly or lose a vital economic partner, us, okay? This is all to protect us, and it's a fair way to do it, okay? The Canadian Economic Sovereignty Initiative, CESI, is a strategic policy designed to ensure foreign companies invest in Canada, jobs and infrastructure, protect Canada from unfair U.S. trade policies and tariffs, makes Canada self-reliant, stronger against economic blackmail, forces the U.S. to treat Canada as an equal, not a resource to exploit. By implementing the CESI, Canada takes control of its own economic, ensuring long-term prosperity, fairness, and independence in global trade. Would you like to see this policy and the documents printed out and put into effect? Would you like our government to actually do something smart? Or do I have to take my time and my money and my effort as a normal, everyday Canadian citizen and run for Prime Minister to make sure that things are taken care of properly? Or is there a leader out there willing to listen to what I have to say and protect Canada properly? This is just one of the things that I wish to have imposed. It protects our economy, it protects our jobs, it protects us. And it also treats the U.S. fairly, it treats us fairly, and it creates two countries that are growing together economically and making both stronger at the same time. It's a little thing about unity, being partners, being neighbors, being friends, working together in a global economy where both of us have to thrive as sovereign nations, as independent nations, as free peoples. So there's some food for thought.